I guess you caught me during lunch. Look, I still like to eat a pizza once in a while, but now it's thin crust. And I try not to eat the whole thing anymore. So, all right, you're here. I'm here. I am clearly caught off guard. I don't even have my beanie on. What's going? Oh, oh, that's what's going on. Apparently, there's issue with Uber and Lyft in Congress. So, hey everyone, this is Kevin, the Apptrepreneur. Forgive that poor little skit at the beginning there. I figured I'd want to start this live stream a little fun, if you will. So, I uploaded a video this morning. Although, if you're new here, by the way, I just want to say consider subscribing and ringing that bell button. Almost daily uploads, Uber, gig economy, streaming wars, even some video games, yada, yada, yada. Get that out of the way. So, I did a video this morning. Really, when a video goes up this morning, it means I made it the previous day. And one of the pros of having, good one, Alex. One of the pros of having videos made the day before is that there is a video for you guys pretty much every single day at 6 a.m. and 6:30, sometimes at 7:30 when they're scheduled. The bad news, or the con, I should say, about making videos in advance is sometimes there is a development that happens on the day the video is released, and then you got to do another video. So I actually might need to get what I should call an on-the-go beanie, which is a beanie that I keep in the car so that when I'm out and about doing everything, I can have my costume ready. Well, here's the thing. The story this morning you probably heard. A transportation chairman who's having like a hearing pretty much ordered to Uber and Lyft. And the letter said, in no uncertain terms, we strongly suggest that you be there. We strongly suggest you be there to be part of the solution. If you're not there, we will rule and start forming legislation and all that stuff against you without your input. And the meeting, as far as I'm aware, has a lot to do with safety and the way drivers are treated. Well, we've got the report right here. It's hot off the presses. This is from the Washington Post. And it has confirmed that Uber and Lyft will not have a presence at these hearings. So according to the article, Uber and Lyft have decided to skip a congressional hearing Wednesday aimed at examining their safety and labor practices, risking aggravating members of the committee who are threatening to press ahead regardless with new legislation. I keep bringing up the Super Pumped book because I'm really glad that I'm reading that book now, while all this stuff is going on, because it so reminds me of that chapter where early in Uber's career, they actually get legal summons from the state saying that you are operating an illegal taxi service, and everyone in the room is freaking out. What do we do? What do we do about this? I just wanted to create a company. I don't want to go to jail. And Travis Kalanick is silent. He sits there and he says, we ignore it. And they just look at him like, what do you mean? This is the government. They're sending us something. We have to respond to it. He's like, no, we don't. We don't. We just ignore it. What are they going to do about it? We're creating the future. And their complaint is that we're not a taxi service. Well, I agree. We're not a taxi service. So Uber cab, just Uber. Yeah. I see a lot of that in today's story. Only I don't know if it's going to end as well as they want this time. So here's the thing. The two companies have come under increased scrutiny in recent months over their treatment of drivers and their efforts to keep passengers safe, prompting the House Transportation and Infrastructure Subcommittee to call a committee hearing and urge the companies to testify on the future of ride-hailing. I do want to say one thing to Dara Khosrowshahi, the CEO of Uber, and to Logan Green, the CEO of Lyft. If Mark Zuckerberg has to testify, you guys have to testify too. I'm just throwing that out there. You can't get away from this forever. Anyway, both Uber and Lyft decided not to send representatives, however, according to company and transportation committee officials. So not only are the CEOs obviously not going to be there, they're not even sending representation. That prompted Transportation Committee Chairman Peter A. DeFazio, Democrat, Oregon, to say that the panel will press ahead with legislation that could encompass safety and labor for transportation network companies or ride-hailing companies with or without their cooperation. According to prepared remarks, he planned to deliver Wednesday that were reviewed by the Washington Post ahead of the evening. I love when statements like that are prepared, like, yeah, we kind of know they're jerks. We're going to prepare for them to say no. Uber and Lyft's, quote, failure to appear at this hearing is a telling sign that they would rather suffer a public lashing than answer questions on the record about their operations. Well, DeFazio, in all fairness, they've been suffering a public backlash for years. I've been doing this for a long time. Heck, when I started doing it, Uberman was joining me. Harry Campbell was really, he was definitely on the same page. I mean, he still kind of is, but he does his blog more now. There was like, I remember Jermaine Ellis, Drive Girl Drive. We were all lashing against Uber. They don't care. They didn't care about us. They don't care about you. They don't care when CNN does it. So, and they really don't care when Fox does it, by the way. So, anyway, here was like kind of like, this is the stick in the knife part. Quote, for their long-term survival and for any hope of ever partnering with agencies who utilize federal funds, they are going to have to clean up their act. Boom, gauntlet dropped or thrown or slap, whatever term you want to use. And then you have the rest of the article, which, you know, pretty much just highlights all the times that Uber and Lyft have just absolutely shunned responsibility, shirked it, whatever term you want to use. It's just, this is amazing. So I don't know exactly what this could do, but here's the thing. The walls are closing in. Now, people mentioned yesterday, some people sent me texts like, hey, Uber stock is up today, which, yeah, that's going to happen once in a while. The stock will in some days go up. For the record, last I checked, right before recording this video, it was down about $1. So it's going down again. Uber and Lyft have to do something at this point. They can't keep running the ship the way they are. They can't keep ignoring the government. They can't keep ignoring their responsibilities. Now, granted, there are some potential pitfalls for them being involved in these discussions and in the decision-making process of which they are being called to testify for. You might even get a picture of that when I upload some videos about some other companies tomorrow. But here's the thing. I still ultimately think it might be a good thing, ultimately, if Uber and Lyft are not part of this discussion. We all know that they waste time. We all know that they do not care about actually making progress. We know they like to They've got these different tactics. We know they like to argue for lawyers over and over and over again about a classification term. They will argue with a lawyer for hours saying, we don't have drivers, even though Uber clearly has drivers. So maybe it's best that they're not there to be part of this circus. And every suggestion that they've ever made has been, it's always slanted in their favor. Lyft too, by the way. So it doesn't even really matter all that much if they're there. I think this is kind of one of those situations where if Uber and Lyft had wanted to regulate themselves and regulate themselves responsibly and be part of the solution rather than be the problem, they would have done it years ago, like I strongly encouraged. You might notice that I no longer say Uber and Lyft, you should have been regulating yourselves for years. You should have been part of the solution early on. And I don't say that anymore because they clearly didn't care. They didn't care then, they don't care now, and they won't care in the future. They will get away with whatever they can. So the fact that they are not going to be part of this hearing, probably a good thing in the long run. And even though I really hate the idea of the government getting involved because the government tends to overreach, Uber and Lyft gave them no choice. They have to do this, guys. I know some of you don't want to. I know once in a while you will still leave comments like, if you're an idiot who can't make money doing it, that's your fault. Don't blame me. You know what? I'm sorry that the fact that they could not adequately provide for 95% of their workforce out there, follow the laws as written. Yeah, I'm sorry that didn't work out. That's what the government's here for. I don't like the government getting involved, but this is what they're here for. So it's time that they do the job that we pay them to do. And if Uber and Lyft want to, shrug this off, then you know what? What happens because of them. However, that's where we are going to leave standalone as its own video. What do all of you out there think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I would love to know. So comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. Totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas prices get you just a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, but you get cash back on every gas purchase. If you want more content from me, check out Kevin T. Rodriguez, the Apptrepreneur vlogs, and Autograph Hound YouTube channels. And finally, if you want to talk to me or other fellow drivers, some of which are even in now, consider looking us up on Facebook at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one. I am now going to continue my lunch. Have a good one.